Alright, we're in the cabin today, and I got basically just a basic pizza dough recipe here, and it's been rising for an hour. Got a little workstation here for flattening out some dough, and I got a frying pan. So I gotta open this window. I can definitely cook this on the stove. The stove is going, but it's not currently hot enough to cook on, and it's too warm out there. Even though it's 2 days after Christmas, and it should be -10 outside. It's almost 50 degrees right now for some reason. I don't know why. It's crazy out there. But we're making what I like to call pan-fried Pazzo bread. I'm not sure if Amato's owns Pazzo bread, but there's a company called Amato's, which is like an Italian fast food restaurant, and they make this thing called Pazzo bread. It's delicious. So that's what we're going to be working on here. So I don't have the tripod right now, but I kneaded half of that dough that was in the pot. Kneaded it out for only like, I don't know, 10 or 20 folds. Just enough that it needed some of that air out, so we don't get big bubbles. And then I'm going to flatten it out with a roller. You can flip it or do whatever you want as well, but I'm going to flip it and roll it out with a roller. And then get some hot oil in that pan, and we'll get to frying. I'll bring you guys back, show you the finished product. I got it in the hot oil. The lighting still sucks. There we go, that's a little bit better. Sorry, it's winter in Maine. It's only 4 o'clock, but it's getting dark right now. So I got it in the hot oil, just like, I don't know, a little dollop of olive oil, get it warm in the pan, and then put the bread down, and then we're gonna let it cook until it rises up. If you let the dough rise long enough at the right temperatures, it should, double in size. And get it flipped right when it's nice and brown on one side. And then brown it, and then when you flip it, I'll show you. I'll bring you back when we flip it. So we're waiting until that first side is brown, and then I'll flip it, and then I'll bring you all back. Alright, so we just flipped it. While the oil is still nice and juicy on this side, put some garlic powder on there. And I like to put a little bit of crushed pepper. And then we're going to let it cook until you can hear that it's kind of crunchy on the bottom, and then you can check it, make sure it's nice and brown. And I'll put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on here too. Actually, I usually put that on here while it's cooking here. And because this top is cooked now, just a little bit of that on there. Be some nice Pazzo bread, which I'm not sure, like I was saying, I'm not sure. Maybe Pazzo bread is a branded trademark name from Amato's, but Amato's is it's kind of a New England favorite, especially amongst the American Italians. So this is going to be delicious, and this should be done. So I'm going to take it off the pan and then cut it into, bread. Oh, there it is, pan-fried Pazzo bread. Delicious, nutritious. Well, not really with the white flour. You use better flour for sure. But yeah, I love it. And we're also gonna have some sauce to dip it in, but I still got one on the stove I gotta cook up before I ruin the pan with sauce. But yeah, it's one of my camp favorites now. Whip it up from scratch. There it is, a delectable sight. Pan-fried Pazzo bread with some red sauce from a can. Delicious. Uncle Dave with DEECEE's Adventures.